Even as stocks tumble and economic concerns abound, the luxury market continues to remain strong. An article in the New York Times reporting today that pricey clothing from Chanel and high-end Louboutin shoes, they're flying off the shelves even when the prices are marked up. Auction houses are also reporting strong sales of goods such as wine and art, as investors search for tangible goods likely to hold their value. Here to tell us more about these trends is Marc Porter. He's the chairman of Christie's Americas. Marc, good to have you with us. Thanks so much for coming in. So tell us about the trends. $3.2 billion worth of sales for the first half of 2011 at Christie's, a remarkable number.
It's been an incredible year, and there are so many rich people around the world continuing to buy individual objects. That's the trend in the market. We've been seeing it for years, and it continues to accelerate.
All right, now you talk about rich individuals who want to own specific pieces of art, and we've always heard that, you have to love the art. You don't buy it necessarily for an investment. But what do you hear in terms of this idea that people want tangible things? They want things they can hold, they can look at in a world where fiat currency goes up one day and, as we found out today, down next.
It's absolutely a driver. Tangible works of art, hard assets, things that are fairly stable in value over decades, over many decades, is absolutely what we're seeing in the market. So jewelry, furniture, works of art all across our business is driven both by the love of the object and the realization that the market volatility of a day isn't what matters. It's what people want to live with for decades.
Now, you say across the business and across the price line, you've described, at least in the reports having to do with Christie's results, that all levels of price are doing well.
Absolutely. You can divide our business by $20 million and above, and that's doing very well, or even such a high number as $1 million. We sold over 400 lots at over $1 million, and then many lots $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. It's a super luxury market, if you will, but it is all across the market for a very particular, very rich group of clients.
Where are you seeing the growth right now? We always read about instances of growth in Asia, for example, specifically in Hong Kong. There's a story in this week's edition of Bloomberg Business Week about the wine auction market. That's booming in Hong Kong right now.
It is booming, and the Chinese and the greater Chinese market is driving a large part of the business, especially with respect to Chinese works of art and classic luxury goods like watches and wine. But we're seeing buyers from everywhere, former Russians, now living in London or domiciled in Europe and the United States, and also rich Americans are still buying.
Tell me about what's going on in terms of the sales. What should we be looking forward to for the fall?
Well, I think the big event of the fall, without question, is the estate of Elizabeth Taylor, the world's greatest jewelry collection, coming to auction in December in New York. We haven't seen anything like this in decades, and I think that will be the great highlight of the fall season. Other than that, we're gathering now through July, August, September for the November sales, so we don't really know quite yet what's in the November sales.
When you look at the Elizabeth Taylor collection, are there any highlights, any specific pieces that you think people ought to be paying attention to?
Well, I think everybody will be watching the great Elizabeth Taylor diamond,
Indeed.
a 33 carat D-color, perfect diamond. But she also has wonderful, wonderful jewelry and amazingly a great collection of couture. She has a beautiful collection of clothing and great memorabilia. It should be one of the biggest events in New York auction history.
And do you think that there's going to be something for everyone at different price points up and down the range, or is it all going to be very expensive?
All across the range, and in fact we're doing at least half of the sale online, time-based, for the first time, in which it will be available only online, and we expect to see worldwide participation on that.
Keep us up to date on what's going on there. That sounds very interesting. It sounds a little bit like you're getting into the Gilt Group's business. Thank you very much. Marc Porter, he's the head of Christie's America. Thank you.